All right, AI government contractors. The question of the day. It goes like this. It says, we are only tenants in this world. And one day, Great Landlord will serve notice that our lease has expired. The question is, what will you do with the time that you have been given? That's the question of the day. That's the question of the day. I want you to start and think about that for a second. I know that typically on this channel, we talk about proposal writing and government contracting. But before we get into the topic of contracts, proposal writing, and all this paperwork, I want you to sit with this for one moment. We're temporarily here. One day, all this will end. The time will be up. And the only thing that would matter is what we did with the time that we had. Did we take bold action, or did we wait until we felt ready? Did we step into uncomfortable rooms, or did we stay where it felt safe? For many small business owners, bidding on a government contract, whether on the state level, municipal level, or state or federal level, it feels like stepping into unfamiliar territory. But what if that one step could change everything? Just like it did for Damien, who won his first contract for HVAC air duct cleaning. And by the way, the contract is going on right now. And his message to the people is bid, bid, bid. Or Siobhan, who I personally know has put in more than 6 months of work into winning a contract, only to win a 5-year contract in facility maintenance with fish and wildlife. And many more of our community members who have taken advantage of using artificial intelligence tools to pick up federal contracts, state contracts, municipal contracts across the United States. Now, I say this to say this. If you want to be part of a thriving community of business owners who are using artificial intelligence tools on a daily basis to get government contracts, but without burning out, without losing thousands of dollars, and without losing confidence, then I suggest you use the link in the description to join our community. But the topic for today is very important. It's how to write a proposal to the government with artificial intelligence tools. I'm going to show you the strategy, and I'm also going to show you a walkthrough. But here's a question that I've constantly had in my mind. It's why is it that most small business owners give up even before they win? It brings me to the reality that most small business owners never actually start. They're stuck in this information gathering mode where they're trying to find out the history of the government agency. They are trying to find out the name of the contracting officer that they need to build rapport with so that he could give them the inside information. And yeah, they're also trying to find insider information that nobody else knows about that would give them a potential edge. And what they find is that 2 years go by, 3 years go by, renewing your SAM.gov account, but never turning in a bid. And for the ones who actually start, for the ones who actually get to the point of opening up the proposal or opening up the RFP, they immediately get overwhelmed. But it's not because they are lazy. Think about it. The system is not going to be created to be easy for any Tom, Dick, and Harry to come in and win a government contract. It's created to root out companies that are not qualified. I remember receiving a message from one of my inner circle members who said, look, government contracting, it takes too much time and too much dedication. I believe I'm going to put my effort somewhere else. It's only difficult if you do not know how to work the system. But let's talk about those problems a bit more deeply. The first problem that any small business owner is going to face when bidding on government contracts is breaking down the contract itself. A typical government RFP would come in with 2, 3 attachments, 4 maybe, and sometimes it could go as far as 8, 10. And you could get to a point where all these attachments have about 30 pages, 40 pages. I've seen up to 200 pages for some of these contracts. So most people feel buried in that paperwork. And then the deadlines, like we use a tool called SAM Search, and SAM Search allows you to see contracts that are due in the next 30 days. But what we find is that a lot of contracts are due in 5 days. A lot of contracts are due in 7 days. There's a time crunch. So even though you've broken down the RFP that seems a bit confusing with legal heavy jargon, you now have to deal with the pressure of time. And then the evaluation criteria, it might be vague, it might be unclear. One of the problems that small business owners will face is just breaking down a government contract, a government solicitation, and having a good understanding of what they're truly asking for. The second problem has to do with finding subcontractors. I mean, how do you build a team when you do not have one? You need to get the quotes from capable partners. You don't have an existing Rolodex of vendors or specialists. And cold outreach is really slow, sometimes awkward, and let's face it, 80% of the time, those emails get ignored. So finding subcontractors becomes a massive problem, especially given that you might be working on a contract that's out of state, or a contract that's very far away from you, or a contract where your company doesn't have the exact resources or manpower to handle. And the third problem is filling out the paperwork can be daunting. SF 1449 form has to be filled out. What blocks do you need to fill out on those forms? SF 30 form is going to be used to acknowledge an amendment. How do you fill it out? What are the required information that you need to give out? Do I need to give out my NAICS code or my DUNS number? Okay, how do I put together a technical volume? Yeah, there's a page limit on this technical volume. How do I put together a past performance? Do I need to tabulate my past performance? Would it be best for me to give the contact information? What does the proposal language look like? How should I format my proposal? These are reasonable questions that most small business owners will come across when it's time for them to put together a government proposal. But guys, in the next few minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we tackle those problems here at the AI GovCon. I'm going to show you the straight up strategy that we use and how we use artificial intelligence tools to defeat the paperwork that would usually take most small business owners down. Those attachments into ChatGPT, and specifically, this is the AI GovCon proposal builder. Okay, so this is the AI GovCon proposal builder available to community members in the inner circle. The beauty of the AI GovCon proposal builder is that you don't have to use fancy prompts. It has already been trained with a methodology for breaking down solicitations. So as you can see, the prompt is so simple. It says break it down. And you're going to notice three things: a solicitation summary, a statement of work summary, and a submission instruction. So like I said, solicitation summary, SOW summary, as well as, well, it's still giving us that SOW, which is statement of work, and then submission instructions. So let's start from the top. But this is one of the great things about the AI GovCon proposal builder. You don't need to be a prompt engineer. Okay. Check this out. It says tree and shrub maintenance at ANC and USSA HNC. Solicitation number. It gives us a nice solicitation number here. This is the evaluation criteria. Technical capability, which is the main focus of this video. I'm going to show you how to write a really detailed technical. And I'm glad we're using this particular solicitation because it has a lot of details. We're not going to talk to any subcontractor. We are going to use the information that we currently have in the solicitation to give the government exactly what they want. Okay, statement of work summary. We have the scope and deliverables. Prune 2,500 trees annually. Massive. Remove 400 trees. Transplant up to 10 trees per year. Install/maintain lighting protection and cabling. So these are specific instructions with specific numbers and specific, like you have 2,500 trees annually. So it's ultra specific. This is the submission instruction. Guys, check this out. This is a massive one. It says proposal format, administrative, maximum 30 pages. Remember, sometimes the government will limit the amount of pages. So this is the SF-1449 and SF-30 form. SF-1449 is typically, it comes with every solicitation. You're going to put in some of your information. If there's any available discounts, you're going to throw that in. And you're also going to sign at the bottom. The SF-30 form is the form that you use to acknowledge an amendment. So there is an amendment with this particular solicitation. SF-30 form is for acknowledgement of amendments, but that's not really what we're going to get into. It says maximum 30 pages. You don't need 30 pages to give them this, right? Volume 2, which is what we're going to be focusing on, maximum 50 pages. Resumes of key personnel, technical approach, no page limit for drawing and quality assurance plans. We have past performance, we have pricing, and then we have all the points of contact. So the goal here is, I would like to, and check this out, I don't want to do a full tutorial on how to use the AI GovCon proposal builder, but it's always going to ask you screening questions, right? These screening questions, actually, let me go in and just say yes. These screening questions would help to give some context for your proposal. Questions are not that complicated. It's what do you do? What is the name of your company? Do you have a company URL? If you are subcontracting this opportunity, well, then let us know. So the name of my company is ABC Ltd. Do you have a company URL? Are you just going to say no? Are you subcontracting the opportunity? That's a yes. If yes, what's the name? Could you provide the name and link of your subcontractor? I'm just going to want to name them as team. So thank you. Here's what I've captured. It's going to give you all of this. No subcontractor name. Can you create a table of content that is matching the evaluation criteria? We want a table of content that matches the evaluation criteria. And here we go. Guys, this video is actually going to be pretty quick because I don't want to waste too much time showing you this. This is really simple. But you have to grab this concept first, that the table of content acts as the backbone of whatever piece you are writing, whether it is the table of content to the entire proposal or the table of content to one part of the proposal. I'm going to repeat that. You can create a table of content for your entire proposal like this, or you can create a table of content for one part of your proposal. So I'm going to say something like this. I would like to write out the technical. But first, create a table of content for only that section. So this is one of the ways you can add detail. So here's a focus table of content for the technical proposal section. Now, one of the things I'm going to also do here is, this is not for a new proposal, but a part of the initial proposal we started. So now that it has clarified, okay, here's what it's doing. Introduction to technical methodology. So it gives all of this. Would you like to proceed? Yes. I want you to see the difference between this technical. It starts off with the introduction. ABC Ltd, in collaboration with the team, presents a comprehensive technical approach to fulfill the requirements of solicitation, and it gives us the solicitation number for tree and shrub planting and maintenance in Arlington National Cemetery and the United States Soldier and Airmen Home National Cemetery. Our approach is grounded in extensive experience in arboricultural, environment, compliance, and cemetery operations, with a commitment to preserving the dignity and appearance of these national shrines. We understand that the performance of tree and shrub maintenance at Service ANC and USA HNC must meet the highest standard of care, professionalism, and sensitivity. Our technical methodology emphasizes precision, safety, quality assurance, and adherence to horticultural best practices. Services will include pruning of approximately 2,500 trees, removal of up to 400 trees, planting of up to 310 trees annually. So again, it's just reiterating what we already know. But guys, this is only the first part of the technical. Now we're going to go into the work plan. I'm just going to hit yes. Now, I want to make this disclaimer to let you know that you may have talked to a subcontractor to get some information that you added to this technical. But what I'm doing right now is I'm just letting it go freely, giving the government exactly what they want. But changes can be made because if you read this, you can see that it aligns. Okay, tree and shrub maintenance procedure. We will conduct and specialize arboricultural tasks, including tree pruning, tree removal, shrub and hedge pruning, specialty pruning. So this is just letting them know we're going to give you exactly what you want. The staffing plan, all I have to do is say yes. Guys, you keep on going with this method until you've written out your entire technical proposal. And this is how to do it with ChatGPT. For the people who think, oh man, ChatGPT can't really write a very detailed technical proposal. This is a method that you could use. Guys, again, I want to celebrate the members of our community who are so diligent in doing the work. I would love you to join our Inner Circle community. There's a link in the description and see you there.